Hi guys, what's up? So I'm still trying to make these perfect coils for the motor so it can run the generator, and I keep running into stuff, and so this will probably be a video about the stuff that you shouldn't do and also where we are going to go from here. So let's dive in. So these coils keep breaking, and one of the reasons might be because there used to be tape on here and it's quite sticky. So I tried to wash them with soap, but that didn't work. So now I went to try this lubricant, and the result is very good. So here's the one I already tried. You can see the wire starts to come loose. And I'll do it for the other one as well. I've been trying to create this small wheel that would guide the small wire with this Photon S 3D printer. It's a very messy 3D printer, as you see. The resin gets everywhere, and after a few attempts I got to this and it sort of broke and sagged out a bit, like it's not perfectly straight the way it's supposed to be. So here you can see it's the first attempt at making this little wheel, and it was even worse. And so I asked my colleague Benny at work to make one of these wheels with the normal sort of 3D printer, and this is how it turned out, and it works quite nicely. And I sort of wound 6 layers of trigger wire on the spool first before winding with the bigger wire. And eventually I started winding with the bigger wire, and so now we're back at the point where it broke. So basically I kept on winding, and when I was finished with the first coil, all the connections to the trigger coil were broken. So I completely unwind that coil, and I told myself we're not gonna use that thin wire. What I had also learned during the winding process is that the manual winder thing has to be very sturdy. So I added this piece here so it doesn't move. And I also added a bearing sort of lock so it doesn't move there either. And I started winding with the 0.2 millimeter wire, and I decided 4 layers would make up for one layer of the thicker wire. So we're giving up one layer of power wire for the trigger wires. And as you can see on the first bobbin, it is quite nice and tight. And on the second bobbin it got even better, so I sort of got the hang of it. And what I found is that you must pay attention to the corners and make sure that the wire is completely tight and that the layer is sort of like sealed off, and then start the next layer, because then you can easily and quickly wind the next layer. Also, if you find that the layer starts to get messy, you have to unwind the previous layer and do it over again. So when we start to look at the number of turns on this coil, I sort of put it in paint and counted the turns, and I come to a count of 77 per layer. So that would make 308 turns per bobbin. And since we have 4 bobbins in one phase, we can hook them up in series and we'll have a coil of 1232 turns. So I think there's still some time left to wind the power wires onto the bobbins, and I'll let you know how far I got with that. So we're about halfway one of the coils, and it's looking good so far. But for next weekend I'll be spending some quality time with family, so either there's going to be a short, or the next video will be in 2 weeks. So, but for now, this is it, and thanks for watching, so see you next time!